This is a video on making a origami DNA molecule. With the things you'll need is an 8.5 by 11 sheet paper, a ruler, and a ballpoint pen. The ballpoint pen will become important. Okay, I'm going to begin by, this is too wide, so I'm going to begin by folding this in half, and I'm going to actually tear this piece of paper in half. So I fold it back and forth either way. I'll do one more time. I'm going to go and rip it. I could have gotten a pair of scissors out for this, but I'll just do it this way. Okay. Now we're going to focus on one of these. Now we can make this with as many steps as possible. I'm going to do it with about 8 steps because it's easier to see. So I'm laying the ruler along the edge here. And what I want to do is I want to divide this thing into 8ths. Now the easiest way to do that is by folding. So that's how I'm going to do it here. I could have used the ruler and measured specific lengths. But all I'm going to do here is fold each one of these. Notice I'm doing a crease here. And how I'm doing the creases matters here. These are called valley folds. I want all these to be valley folds. And notice, right, you now have 3. It's curving up a little bit. So I'm going to make another one here. And another one here. Rotate it. Another one here. And my last one, folding up to the second one from the top. And you'll now notice I've got 8 lines now that are equally spaced. Okay, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to fold in. I'm going to go ahead and measure this. I'm going to fold in about 1/2 inch. It doesn't really matter how much I fold in, but I'm just going to pick 1/2 inch. Here's my ruler. There's my 1/2 inch mark. So I'm going to use that as my guide. And you can see I'm sort of folding like on that line. Well, it might be easier just to go ahead and draw the line all the way down. This will probably help a lot. So I'm going to do a 1/2 inch there, 1/2 inch at the bottom, and now I'm going to just fold in. Well, I'll go ahead and draw the line. Drawing the line will make it easier. This is the technique we're going to use later on, so I'll go ahead and do it now. I'm going to draw a line with the ballpoint pen. And again, notice the use of the ballpoint pen is important because the ballpoint presses into the paper. And because it presses into the paper, it creates a crease. So now, after folding that, I can very easily fold this over like that. Now, notice all of these creases here are all valley folds. They're all faced like this. I'm now going to turn this over, and I'm going to fold it on this side over here. Again, I want to measure my 1/2 inch. Measure over 1/2 inch. Do the same thing at the bottom. Measure over 1/2 inch. Now again, if you're looking at this in science class, you'd be using metric. I apologize for using standard. Okay, there we go. Now I fold this over. Again, notice I'm folding this over. You'll notice if you look at these folds on this side are all what are called mountain folds. They're the opposite way. So what we're going to do next is I'm going to recrease all these mountain folds. We're almost done now. We're pretty close. I'm probably going to take this pad up because I think the pad makes it harder to do my next step. So I'm going to pick up the pad. what I'm going to do next is I want to fold diagonals. Now, folding a diagonal is difficult. So the easy way to do it is to use the ballpoint pen to draw it. Now again, notice I'm doing this on the side where these things are mountain folds. So I'm going to take a ballpoint pen and draw it from one corner down to this corner. Now you notice I'm going from the top corner up here down to the end of this fold. I'm going to repeat that. Going to do it again. It might make it easier if I went in and put little marks right here so it's easier to see them. I can do the same thing over here. If I was making a DNA molecule, I'd be putting some G's and T's and other letters around here. Again, I'm pushing hard with a ballpoint pen. Pencil does not work as well because it doesn't have as, you can't put as much pressure. And again, I'm pushing hard to do this. Okay, so now let's look at what I've got. I've got these drawn on the same side as these mountain folds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold on the blue line. See, I'm just creasing it right down the blue line. I'm then going to fold the mountain fold. So it's back. Now I'm going to fold on the blue line again. I'm going to pick the whole thing up when I do it. Now I'm going to fold on the mountain fold again. Okay? And then fold on the blue line again. It's a little harder. Notice how I'm doing it here. I'm lifting it up and then folding on the mountain fold. Again, see the blue line? Fold on the blue line. I'm going to go down to the table here now. I'm going to fold on the blue line. Pick it up. Mountain fold is straight. Fold the mountain fold back down. Again, notice I'm not making any new creases when I do this. And I'm going to fold the blue line this way. It's a little easier. And when I do that, it's over upside down. That mountain fold's become a valley fold. But I'm still folding it in its natural direction. I'm not creasing it in a new way. Again, there's the, see the mountain fold? It's become a valley fold. Folding that over naturally. Folding on the blue line. Folding on the blue line. I now have this spiral. So if I pick it up, you can see the spiral. That's the double helix. Now, I'm going to pull out these little things on the edges here. I'm going to lift my camera up a little bit more. I'm pulling out the edges. I'm not really doing anything with them. I'm just sort of pulling them out, because in a DNA molecule, you've got the outside connectors to go with the double helix. And then I'm just gently refolding the whole thing. Some folds will fold easier than others. And there you have the DNA molecule. Now, I did this with pretty wide separations. I could have made those much narrower. The process would have been the same. But I think it was pretty easy to see it at this size. Hope that was helpful. Thanks a lot.